The Baby and the Bathwater. I'm reminded of a line in one of Franz Kafka's journals in which he writes, and I quote, "Everything I write, it already has perfection," unquote. That was many years ago, and it took me quite a while to puzzle that one out. But as I understand it, what Kafka was saying is that rather than perfect his writing, learn to write better, instead what he did was perfect his mind, with the result that anything he subsequently wrote reflected the perfection of the mind, or reflection of his mind. He chose to improve his mind over just his writing technique. Of course, the two work hand in hand, meaning obviously writing was a form of meditation for Kafka. There's a similar story of the great Tibetan yogi Marpa and his root teacher, the Mahasiddha Naropa. When Marpa met Naropa, Naropa created before him a vast and wondrous shrine, telling Marpa the shrine was the very embodiment of sacred wisdom. Then Naropa asked Marpa which one should he bow down to, as in bow down to first. Should he bow down to Naropa or to this incredible shrine? Marpa bowed down to the shrine, and then Naropa pointed out to him that he had made the wrong choice. For without Naropa, there would be no shrine. So it's all about priorities. I went through the same kind of experience when I first mixed my meditation practice with nature photography. Since photography was the focus and the object of my life back then, as my photos improved, I attributed it to my photographic technique. And I was not at first aware that I was at last actually successfully mixing my mind with an appropriate for me meditation object, in this case photography. It was improvements in my mind that made all of this possible. Of course, this is the old baby and the bathwater syndrome all over again. In my case, I thought that my photography was getting better. But what was really happening is that my mind training was getting better. Of course, my photos were also getting better, but that was only thanks to my mind practice improving. Anyway, the takeaway from the whole experience is that my mind became better through the use of photography as its object, as an object of my meditation. Therefore, my photography also benefited, but that was secondary. The proof of this is that not only has my photography improved, but so has everything else I do, like writing these audio blogs. It's the mind that makes all of this possible, not the photography, not the writing. This is the difference between the mind itself and one of its objects of meditation, like photography or writing or what have you. It's a simple question of priorities, like the old game of pick-up sticks. You have to know which stick to pick up first that will open up all of the rest and allow them to be picked up. I was focused on the photography, but had not yet realized that I was actually successfully mixing my Dharma practice with an object for the first time, in this case photography. I had my eye on the photography, but had not yet realized that my mind had finally found an object of meditation that did not invoke in me all kinds of obscurations. It just worked. I could focus through the camera lens on an object with little or no distraction. For me, there was no effort involved, or any effort was absorbed by my love of nature. And it's the mind training that resulted from that experience that today affects every other aspect of my life. I write this here for those of you who might see how important training the mind through meditation can be. In my opinion, it's the first thing to accomplish. All else follows.